Hello! If it's Monday, it must be Morocco. If it's Morocco, it must be Marrakech. And if it's Marrakech, it must be this place, the Jema El Fnar, which is that big square right in the middle of the city that you might have heard about. It's relatively quiet at the moment. If I look behind me, over there is the mosque up there, the Katoubia Mosque, which you were earlier. So what brings me here to Morocco? I'm on my own, I must mention that actually. This is one of those trips that I've wanted to do for a long time actually. And the opportunity came to go, and Julie had already been to Morocco, she'd already been to Marrakech, so she said, well, you go and just enjoy yourself. So that's what I'm doing. I'm here actually on a tour. I'm doing this with the same company, Exodus, who I was with when I went to Jordan, which was 3 years ago, pretty much exactly. Another Islamic country, and I do like them. There's a nice feel to them. This is, we've had a tour earlier on today. Came down to here, went to the Katoubia Mosque behind me, and you probably can't see it from there. You might just be able to make it out, but it's very much like the Giralda, one of my favourite buildings. Anybody who watches these videos will know that. In Seville, a place that I'm going to very shortly. I actually mentioned it to the guide, Abdul, who was showing us around this morning, and he said that it's actually, the Giralda in Seville is actually built by exactly the same person, and also that it's the same, it was like a prototype, this one here, for the Giralda in Seville, and also there's one in Rabat in Morocco, which is exactly the same as well. I must admit, this one, it's not quite as ornate, and you can't go in it either. There's a reason for that, and Abdul was very open about the problems with the sort of Islamic extremism or fundamentalism, and he was saying about how in Morocco, they don't like that sort of thing. They've had their issues here. They've had attacks actually in this square, I do believe, some time ago, and they've changed things around a little bit so that they don't allow non-Muslims into any of the mosques. The only ones that you can get into in Morocco is actually in Casablanca, which I'm not going anywhere near. And then we walked around, we went to the Bahia Palace, which is what one of the old viziers used to built with his 4 wives. And we heard all about that, and the concubines and polygamy of the Islamic religion as well, and others as well, as we know. And that was all very well explained as well. And we dived into the souk, which is just sort of behind me here, really, but it's enormous. You can get very lost. But he took us around to some various bits and pieces, and then so we came to this particular square this morning. It was full of, I don't think I've seen quite so many snakes as the last time I was at the reptile house in London Zoo. There were cobras and things everywhere. Most of them looked as though they'd been drugged up, and I wasn't particularly keen on them. But this afternoon it's changed in the scene, because this afternoon it actually rained. We went for lunch and it absolutely poured down, which is a bit of a novelty for the people here. It cleared all the snake charmers out of the way, I must admit. So after lunch I went for a wander on my own and went into the souks. And,
How are you?
Yes, I'm getting accosted by people here. How are you? You okay?
How are you? Good.
Yeah, good.
Thank you. Welcome home, brother. In my restaurant, welcome home. Yes. You want to eat something?
No, I'm fine, thank you. I'm cool. So that's it. See, they're friendly natives, aren't they? I get accosted. If we go to Rome, it's selfie stick sellers. Here it's steak charmers or whoever that guy was. Anyway, so at least he's nice and friendly. Actually, you can see a bit of the souk down there behind me. It goes down there. So anyway, I wandered off into the souk earlier on and got thoroughly lost. But as Mohammed, our main tour guide, said, sometimes you need to get lost to find what you're actually looking for, if that makes sense, which is very good, very true, and I think I'm going to stick onto that one. Or maybe I should have claimed it for myself, because sometimes you wander off the beaten track, and that's when you actually find the sort of stuff that you are ultimately looking for, which is those little nooks and crannies that you wouldn't have found if you'd have stayed on the beaten track. I'm a great one for that. I don't know if you can see around here, you probably can't make it out, but all these stalls are like fruit and veg. This becomes like a food market in the evening, apart from the music you can hear over there, which I understand is going to get a lot more of, and I'm sure the snake charmers will be back. So anyway, there we are. This is yes, it's a great city, and I've just walked down the hotel, so I've just walked about half an hour. It's very easy to find your way, apart from in the souks. But then you know that anyway, and there's lots of dates and things like that. Yeah, guy's trying to sell me some over there already, pointing to them. I might have to go and partake of that in a minute. So I'm going to have a wander around. What we are doing for the rest of this trip, tomorrow we head off into the High Atlas Mountains, and we've got 4 days up there, trekking around, walking around, going to Berber villages and all that sort of stuff as well. So day 1 is pretty good. I think the rain's just about finished. Hopefully it's going to keep off for the rest of the time, and hopefully I should be checking in on other days as we go along, inshallah, as they say. I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.